vamos a pasar el micrófono para que le puedan hacer preguntas.
¿Cómo va esta nueva etapa en WWE? La primera que tuviste hace algunos años y ahora tu regreso, que avanzaste de NXT otra vez al drop principal. ¿Cómo te sientes?
How did you feel with this new step in the WWE? How did you feel in this new step in WWE after the first you had? Yes.
Well, I'm very excited to be back in WWE. I grew up in WWE. I was signed from Scotland when I was 21. Things didn't work out and I got fired when I was 29. Then I worked harder than I've ever worked in my life. Built my mind up, built my body up, and got better in the ring in every other area, and returned. I was a boy the first time and I returned to WWE a man. So it's pretty cool to be fulfilling my potential finally and getting to have fun events like coming here. This is very exciting for me.
Creo que se siente muy feliz de haber regresado. Tuvo una primera etapa difícil donde se sintió, bueno, en la adolescencia lo despidieron y regresó con muchas ganas de dar lo mejor de sí y trabajar mucho. Está excitado y se siente perfectamente bien con su primera etapa.
Nervous, everybody? Hands shaking a little bit, a little nervous? Relax, we're all having a good time,
¿Cuál es tu próximo objetivo? ¿Qué tienes en mente? ¿Quieres ser campeón? ¿Quieres derrotar y humillar a alguien? ¿Cuál es tu objetivo?
Which is your next objective? What do you think is going to be your next thing in WWE? Yes.
Well, I've never had a world title shot of any kind. In my first 9 years in WWE, I had 0 world title shots. Since I've returned to WWE, it's been a year and a half now, I've had 0 universal title shots. I was the last person to pin Seth Rollins before he beat Brock Lesnar for WrestleMania. He was too scared to give me a title shot. Brock Lesnar stole Money in the Bank. Ricochet screwed me last week. So I won my Universal title shot and I want to be Universal Champion.
Él quiere ser campeón universal.
Sobre los luchadores que representan México y América Latina, ¿quién es el que realmente le puede hacer una competencia? Rey Mysterio, Andrade, ¿quién puede competir con él?
From the Latin American fighters in the WWE, from these fighters, Latin American, which one do you think is the biggest challenge for you?
I mean, they're all so phenomenal in the ring. Obviously, wrestling, lucha is part of the culture in Mexico, and everybody starts really young. I mean, I started wrestling when I was 15. I think Andrade started when he was like born. He just came out of the womb and started wrestling right away. Like, they've been doing it so long. Rey Mysterio was obviously a legend. Andrade was a big opponent of mine in NXT. He actually beat me for the NXT title. Who would I give it to? Alberto's a good friend of mine too. Let's see. Outside the ring, they can beat me at drinking. Inside the ring, I think Andrade.
Andrade.
In the future, McIntyre Andrade for the Universal title.
Okay.
How's Mexico treating you so far?
Mexico always treats me well. This is genuinely one of the funnest places I go because in Scotland, we like to have a good time, and we're a little crazy. And in Mexico, you like to have a good time, you're a little crazy. So Scottish and Mexicans are very similar. Americans are boring. Getting fired by WWE when I was 29, 5 years ago. It was pretty difficult because I had no other plan. I've been wrestling since I was 15. I got signed to WWE from college when I was 21. And that's all I ever knew was being in WWE, and suddenly I was told, hey kid, you're not pulling your weight, you're fired. So it was at that moment I had a choice. I could either give up or I could actually apply the lessons that I learned in WWE. I could start achieving my potential, I could start giving it 100% in the ring and outside the ring, because I wasn't at that time and I deserved to get fired. And it was a big challenge and I had to work really hard. But because I did work really hard, because I did believe in myself, I became a very big name outside of WWE, and that's the reason I came back to WWE. So that's why I tell everybody, if you've got a dream, no matter how crazy it sounds, just look at Drew McIntyre. I did it the first time when I got signed and I got fired, and I did it twice. It's because I believed in myself.
Su mayor reto fue cuando lo despidieron de la WWE en su primera etapa. Fue un gran reto para él regresar, porque era su único sueño, y creyendo en sí mismo es que logró regresar y estar de nuevo en el primer nivel de la lucha libre, de la WWE.
Preguntarte de nuevo, Drew, sobre tu rutina de entrenamiento aquí en este evento es para cultivar el físico. ¿Qué consejos das y cuál es tu rutina? ¿Qué haces diariamente para tener ese físico?
What advices you can give in terms of your routine in the gym?
Well, for me, I've always worked out pretty hard my whole life since I was a kid. I train with weights 4 days a week, but the biggest difference I found was when I started working on my diet. I think we're going to talk about it in one of the stalls today, with my diet. And the biggest difference was I wasn't eating enough when I was younger. And the last time I was in WWE, I was maybe 245 pounds, 240 pounds. Then I tweaked my diet, started eating more. And now I got bigger and leaner, and I'm about 265, 70 now, but in way better shape than I was. And the biggest difference wasn't the weights, it was the diet that was key.
Lo que es clave para él es la dieta, es lo más importante, es lo que le ha ayudado a tener el peso y la fuerza que necesita para estar en el escenario. Entonces lo más importante es la dieta y comer, no tanto el ejercicio.
Mi pregunta es sobre tu carrera luchística, sobre si en un futuro o no te llegaron a contactar de la empresa AEW. ¿Qué opinas sobre eso? ¿Te gustaría ir ¿Te gustaría ir a la empresa AEW o te han llegado a contactar?
¿Qué empresa?
La empresa AEW.
AEW. If you that if you have been contacted by the enterprise AEW and what? Okay.
No, I work for WWE. I'm under contract to WWE. This is where I wanted to come back. I was under contract to TNA Impact, and when that ran out, my wife and I talked about my future, and I was maybe going to go to New Japan. There was no other option until I had a phone call with William Regal, one of my mentors, and he had me speak to Triple H. And it was in that phone call with Triple H where he told me he'd been watching me, he was very proud of what I'd achieved, and I was finally fulfilling my potential. But I knew it was time to come back home to WWE. There was no other option for WWE.
You mentioned before that you work out so hard, then you start to watching and keeping in mind what you eat. But I want to know if you do something to focus on your mind, to meditate, or something to be like a full circle, completing your mind, your body, and what you work out.
So they'll have like a technique when I work out, just in the gym or in general. Yeah, like I kind of use songs, like when I'm in the gym or I'm about to go to the ring, or even if I'm in the airport and I'm very tired or I'm homesick or whatever. There's certain songs that'll fire me up. There's certain songs if I'm down that'll make me happy. And just like Drew McIntyre in the ring, I find it very easy to get angry. So in the gym, I can call upon that to get angry, to lift the heavy weights. But in the rest of my life, no matter what mood I'm in, I can easily change my mood just with music. I think music's an incredible thing. We could all use it as an asset in our life.
Hi Drew, I just want to say you deserve a title shot for the Universal Championship. I hope that you really want it, and my question is, what's the most difficult part of being a WWE superstar?
The most difficult part? I mean, it's hard to complain because this is all I ever wanted to do, and I'm living the dream. Like, I'm getting to come to Mexico and hang out at a fitness event. This is considered work, apparently. This is a fun time to me, but the hardest part is probably the schedule. Just because we're 52 weeks a year, we wrestle maybe 4 days a week, every single week, with multiple tours worldwide. So it is very physically and mentally taxing. But truth is, I can't complain. Like, I was a kid, I would have done anything to do this. I'm living the dream right now. I'm living it a second time around, so I really can't complain. That is the hardest part.
Hi, Drew. Nice to welcome to Mexico. ¿Cuál ha sido la superestrella que ha sido una inspiración para ti dentro de la WWE?
Which WWE star has been an inspiration for you? WWE superstar.
There's been a lot that have helped me along the years. When I was younger, when I first came to America, like at 21, 22, 23 years old, I had like Fit Finlay, William Regal, and The Undertaker were kind of big influences for me and helping me backstage, etc. And when I came back to WWE and I was with NXT, they have, I don't know if you know the Performance Center with NXT, they have the big training center and they have all the classes. Like my contract, I didn't have to go to the PC and work out with everyone else, but Shawn Michaels was there and I asked, can I go work out with you, Shawn? And he said, absolutely. So I used to drive 4-hour round trip just to work with Shawn Michaels one-on-one 3 days a week when I was at NXT. And he was the biggest asset I've ever had. I always call it like, I'm a professional wrestler. I was here and we're working with Shawn Michaels. I got my doctorate in wrestling working with Shawn.
Sus mayores inspiraciones fueron Philly, Regan, Undertaker cuando era joven, y ya llegando a Estados Unidos, su mayor inspiración fue trabajar con Shawn Michaels y poder entrenar con él 4 horas al día. Él tenía que manejar mucho tiempo para llegar con él unas 4 horas y era su mayor inspiración.
What is your experience in fighting Undertaker and Mr. Rose? What is your experience in the fight the Undertaker in
experience was pretty good. You know, he had, trying to think of a nice way to say it, a less than stellar match with Goldberg, and really wanted to make sure, and all of us in the match wanted to make sure we had an awesome match. So it was Roman and The Undertaker, where like Undertaker's a legend, Roman's the biggest star in the company right now. I was tagging with Shane, who's willing to do anything in the ring, and this was my opportunity to show that I can stand up to anybody and not look out of place. And the biggest moment for me in the match is when The Undertaker was in the middle of the ring, and I walked up to him face to face, and I looked him in the eye, and it looked believable. Rather than, this looks silly, he could be up him. Everybody in the crowd went, ooh. And that was the coolest moment in the match for me, and I was very happy we had a good match for him more than anybody. I do want a one-on-one match though at WrestleMania.
Hola Drew, mi pregunta es, ¿qué gimmick ha sido tu favorito y cuál has odiado? Bueno, ¿qué personaje ha sido tu favorito y cuál has odiado?
Which one has been your favorite character? Yes.
Which one of my characters is my favorite? Yep. For me, definitely 3MB, of course. I guess that right now, because it's a lot of elements of who I really am. Obviously, the volume's turned up, and I'm more of a bad guy, but I like where I'm at now because I just do what I feel. Like a lot of people talk about scripts being written and people having to follow scripts. That's not true. So the way I look at it is you go out there, you do what you feel when you're in the ring, and whatever feels right for the situation, that's what I always do. And right now, I'm the happiest I've been because I literally will just do whatever I feel. If you see something on screen or I say something on screen crazy, it's because I felt it in that moment, not because some writer wrote it for me. And that's what I tell all the younger guys, is stop worrying so much about what's on the paper and what they tell you to do. You got to go out there and feel what's right, because if you're not having fun and if you don't believe it, then the fans won't believe it either.
Drew dice que él no sigue ningún guión y es lo que hace dentro del escenario, lo que le gusta y lo que él siente. Él tiene que sentir diversión, tiene que sentirse a gusto con lo que hace para que su personaje sea de verdad. No tiene que seguir ninguna regla, él hace lo que él siente dentro del escenario.
Hi, you know the Santo Umbrella? What do you think about the culture of wrestling in Mexico? What do you think about the culture of wrestling in Mexico?
What I think about Mexican wrestling?
You know the Santo Umbrella?
Oh yeah, I mean, when I was gone from WWE, I worked for AAA a few times. I did the Lucha World Cup in 2015, and I did a couple of the traveling tours. So it was interesting because I got the opportunity to experience a different style. Obviously, the style in the ring is very different here. Who was in the ring with? Is it Atlantis? Who does the cross as part of their character in the ring? Is it Atlantis maybe?
La Parca?
No. I'm trying to think because I felt bad because I didn't realize that was his trademark move. He just stopped in front of me and started doing his pose, but I didn't realize it was his pose, and I headbutted him halfway through. So I cut him off before he got to do his little pose. But I had such fun, and the biggest part that was fun was because the crowd were so into everything. Like wrestling and lucha here is really like integrated into society. It's really part of your culture. Like in the UK, it's on fire. Everybody loves it in the UK, and it's really big. But here, it's just integrated into society. It's really part of the culture, and that's the coolest thing about it for me. Thank you, Drew.
¿Qué tal, Drew? Mi pregunta sería la siguiente. Si tuvieras la oportunidad de tener un combate de ensueño, ¿contra qué superestrella del roster actual de Raw o SmackDown Live, NXT o Twitch Live te gustaría combatir?
If you could have one fight right now with any superstar of Raw, SmackDown, WWE, which one would be?
Seth Rollins. He's got the title, yeah? Yeah, Seth Rollins is Universal Champion right now, yeah. Yeah, Seth, won my match. So I've still pinned him twice. He's still not giving me my title match. Looking right down that camera. Play this to Seth, I won my bloody title match.
Si pudieras regresar en tiempo y estar en Attitude Era, ¿te gustaría enfrentar a Stone Cold Steve Austin en WrestleMania?
If you could go back in time, would you like to fight Stone Cold Austin in WrestleMania?
Yeah, for sure. Especially like around 98, 99, 2000, when he was like the biggest thing in wrestling. That was an insane period. When his glass broke, when his music hit, every single person would jump to their feet and scream at the top of their lungs, and everything he said, they were hanging on his every word, every punch, every kick, every move. I mean, yeah, I'd be the bad guy, I guess, because he was so loved. But yeah, absolutely, I'd love to wrestle Austin in his prime, because the crowd would be so insane, I'd probably go deaf.
Me encantaría luchar contra Stone Cold.
¿Sabías que tenías tantos fans en México y cuál es la diferencia que ves versus el resto del mundo? ¿Y qué te parece Hit como experiencia?
What do you think about the Mexican fans and what do you think about the experience about here in Mexico?
Yeah, like I mentioned a couple of times, I love the Mexican fans because they love what we do with not just, oh, I really enjoy that, with a legitimate burning passion. Like, they absolutely love what we do. When I speak to everybody about wrestling, lucha, here, just everybody is so passionate about it. It really means so much to them, which in turn, because I love it so much, means so much to me. So it's pretty cool being here because, yeah, we love the same thing.
Los fans mexicanos tienen muchísima pasión, realmente se meten a WWE, les encanta y eso es lo que les gusta, la pasión que tienen los mexicanos.
Well, hi Drew, welcome to Mexico. How did you pass from the Future Shock DDT to the Claymore? How did you pass from the Future Shock DDT to the Claymore?
I can't quite remember when I switched. I started using the Claymore when I was in 3MB by accident, because I don't know if you remember, I used to wear like long, tight leather trousers, like long leather pants, and I ran to kick somebody in the face, but because the pants were too tight, I accidentally kicked my other leg up and landed in my own head, and that's when I accidentally created the Claymore. But when I started using it as a move from then on, but not my finishing move, I still used the Future Shock. But when I came back to WWE, Dean Ambrose was using the Dirty Deeds, which was kind of similar. So I started using the Claymore, but first chance I get, Dean's not there anymore, I'm going to bring it back. Thanks for reminding me, actually. I'm going to bring it back now.
Question is, which one is your favorite stipulation match? Your favorite stipulation match?
Definitely not ladder matches. I hate ladder matches. Don't like heights. I'm scared enough being 6'5". Never mind climbing ladders. I don't like Hell in a Cells. I climbed up on top of one of them, it was terrifying. I don't know, no holds barred. I like those, because then I can use whatever weapon, I don't have to climb up on ladders, I can use tables and sticks and chairs and get creative. So there we go, no holds barred, that's the answer.
No le encantan ese tipo de peleas, subir las escaleras, usar esas cosas, no le encantan ese tipo de peleas.
In your future, Jerry will fit Bray Wyatt? In your future and your fight Bray Wyatt. Si en un futuro pelearías con Brian Wyatt. Bray Wyatt, el demonio.
Will you fight again?
Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt?
El demonio. Bray Wyatt.
Will you fight against Bray Wyatt? No.
Yes, absolutely. I love what he's doing with the new character. I loved his old character, but unfortunately it didn't quite pan out and they got a little diluted. But he's worked really hard on the Fiend character. He's worked really hard on his body to get in better shape. So I'm very happy for him where he's at right now, and I would definitely like to fight him. There's nothing I enjoy more than two big guys just beating the crap out of each other that like to fight. And myself and Bray like to fight.
Le encantaría pelear contra él, es un gran personaje, está muy preparado y le encantaría pelear contra él, sin duda alguna.
Welcome to Mexico, and I would like to ask you, what does it feel to be at a WrestleMania?
It never gets old. No matter how many times I go to WrestleMania, it's so big and overwhelming that there's legitimately between 80,000 and 90,000 people sitting just watching you. I'll never forget my first one. I was Intercontinental Champion in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And just walking around and trying to take in the magnitude of the stadium. And even the most recent one, I can remember the whole day so clearly for every WrestleMania I've been in. And the one with Roman when he returned from his illness, just walking around and knowing it was my first big singles match against Roman and everything he'd been through and how big it was going to be. It just, it never gets old for me and it never fails to blow my mind just how big WrestleMania really is.
Siempre se siente bien pelear en WrestleMania, es grande, está toda la gente viéndote y es una gran experiencia estar ahí y dice, nunca se siente, siempre como la primera vez, siempre.
significa todo, estamos solo 4 veces al año.
That's a good question. I mean, realistically speaking, it's not his fault. If the company's willing to put him in that position and pay him that money, he would be a silly businessman not to say yes. I would like to fight him. I think everybody is like scared, and not just like, ooh, scared, but like genuinely scared to get in the ring with him because he is so big, he is so physical, and he is one of the most dangerous people